Welcome back to a new series here in the Cedar Falls Community Television studio. It's called Serving the Valley, and it's a chance to put the spotlight directly on some of these amazing service organizations that we have right here in the Cedar Valley. And it's our hope with this program that you can find out some information and find out a way to get involved with some of these unique service organizations that are really doing their part to make our community a better place for all. Today's program features the Rotary programs here inside Cedar Falls, and joining me, Roger Keeter and Mary Shepard, two Rotarians that have been involved with the club at many different levels for a long period of time. Thanks for joining me, and let's just talk, how did you get involved, and about how many years have you been involved with the Rotary Club here in Cedar Falls? Roger?
Okay. Well, thank you, Eric. I've been involved with Rotary here in Cedar Falls since I came to town in 1970. Wow. So that puts me a multiple-decade Rotarian. And what I found really valuable about joining Rotary, as any Rotary Club would allow you to do, and that is for the focus of fellowship and leadership. As an academician, usually people sort of sit and get located in their profession and in their area. The whole idea of being able to leave the university campus and come downtown and join fellow leaders of this community was a great benefit that I found as being a part of Rotary. And so as a Rotarian, you know, just to give you a little background on Rotary, started in 1905 in Chicago, basically, with an attorney that actually got his degree from the University of Iowa. And he and a couple of his business associates got together. And they met every week, and that's where it comes about Rotary. They rotated the business places, and it was for the purpose of not only promoting their own business, but having that fellowship and among leadership. So from that humble beginning in 1905, Rotary has grown to be 1.2 million members worldwide, and that includes countries absolutely far east and so forth. But what's important of Rotary is that's composed of 34,000 clubs.
Wow.
You know, and that's the essence of Rotary, is you're going to be hearing from some of the things that happen in our own community. And Rotary is built around leadership. It's built around the people who are members of Rotary are actually leaders in the community, but it gives these leaders an opportunity to share with each other. You know, Rotary has a really new model, and it's gather leaders, exchange ideas, and take action. And so that group together, it just sort of lends a hand to those people in need.
So Roger's been a member since 1970. We talked about 1.2 million members in Rotary, and when you started, Mary, there were not a lot of women in the club. How many years have you been in Rotary, and how have you seen it change over the years?
Well, I've been a member twice and dropped out because of job responsibilities in the middle, and I think altogether probably over 20 years, but it's been a growth situation for women, and when I joined, I believe there were only 2 women, and they were very prominent in the community and owned businesses, and I felt a little bit insecure, you know, at that age going in with older women, and now I'm one of the older women, so I invite younger women along to join me. And
what do you enjoy about the Cedar Falls Rotary Club specifically?
Well, I think I've been a member of the community long enough that I see people that I know, but maybe I don't know them much outside of Rotary. And it's interesting to get to know about their jobs and what they do and what their interests are. And so we trade tables. We don't eat at the same place every week. And so you get to sit with a different group of people, both men and women, and we have some interesting people in our group that are doing things that you never expected, and so it's always a surprise.
Again, we're talking about Serving the Valley, and this is the Rotary Club of Cedar Falls. And Roger, locally do so many great things, nationally so much, but let's look at the global picture. Polio, definitely something that this Rotary Club can be very proud of.
Eric, and I'll treat that in a moment. I want to build on something that Mary said, because this is a unique year for Rotary. This happens to be the 25th anniversary year of women joining Rotary. So when Mary says that she's been a Rotarian for 20 plus years, she was among that group of early Rotarians internationally, so that's great. Yes, Rotary has a wonderful foundation. It's sort of the other hand of the Rotary, and our club in Cedar Falls has been a recipient of many Rotary Foundation grants, which has allowed the clubs to do projects locally. But nationally and internationally, Rotary is known for the one main goal, which it started in 1989, and that was to eradicate polio worldwide.
Not an easy
task. You're right. We were successful in this country, and maybe our children and grandchildren know only about it by reading in the history books. But we're down to the point where we have only 3 endemic countries left: Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. And it's so important to eradicate polio there because it's only a plane ride away, as we've been hearing in the news. People who move from those areas to places with and interact with children who have not been vaccinated, polio could be an outbreak. And we have the great support of the Gates Foundation, but Rotary has been the leader for all these particular years. That's its major area. Rotary has some other focuses, and that includes peace and education. Mary might want to talk a little bit about that, one of our educational programs, which is really great.
The RILA students and really getting involved and giving back to the community with the future as well.
We hope so, and it's been going with our club. I believe this will be the 3rd year coming up, and children aged, I believe, from sophomore on up, sophomores and juniors, so they will be the juniors and seniors of next year, are the ones that benefit by the club, but it's actually run by students also. It's not us older generation telling them what to do or how to do it, but we're there for help to them and guidance as they need it, or information and things that maybe we know that they don't. But it's really run for the club, for the youth, by the youth, and they come up with the leadership responsibilities of their own, and they're selected for their leadership for the next year. And so we have a great group that meets, and this year we'll be in Grinnell in July for a week, and we have 2 students going this year. We had 6 last year because we had so many good qualifiers that we took 6 last year. This year we actually had fewer applications, so we're hoping to increase that again.
So you look at what Rotary Club here in Cedar Falls does globally with polio, with a lot of programs, but also locally with our high school students as well. We only have a couple more minutes left in this segment. We'll bring on some other Rotarians in future segments on this show here. But as we're talking with you, what would you say to someone who's watching the show and why they should either attend a meeting or learn more about our Rotary Club and what that might be able to do for them?
Go ahead, Mary.
Well, they get to come to lunch for free with a lot of interesting people, and we hope to learn from them as much as they learn from us.
Eric, I always say to any potential Rotarian, there's something in Rotary for everyone.
Sure.
I mean, if you're interested in motorbiking, or if you're interested in stamp collecting or cooking, there are focus groups that you will get to meet other people around the world. One of the main advantages also is when you wear that Rotary button, you can walk into any Rotary club, whether it's in Hong Kong or New York, and you're welcomed.
And you've traveled as well.
I traveled, and that happens. And you're just automatically a partner with a worldwide organization of 1.2 million people. So if people are interested in, doing that, I think they should check out one of our Rotary clubs in the Cedar Valley area.
Well, we thank you all for all that you do in our community. You've been members of this community for a very long time, and by using Rotary to help continue to make our community a great place for all. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with the current president and future president for the Cedar Falls Rotary Club in our next segment here on Serving the Valley. Stay tuned for that. Plenty more of Serving the Valley right after this here on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Are you tired of wondering what you'll find when you open your cable bill each month? We don't think it should be a surprise. Switch to CFU Cable and Internet Service for the best value every day for every customer. CFU Cable brings you a huge HD lineup, and our all-fiber internet connection is always fast. You get reliable service and friendly local support. Call 268-5283 for free installation today from CFU, where every customer gets a great price.
Dear CFU, recently we had a home energy audit through your House Calls program. The audit gave us information we needed to make good decisions. And your rebates helped us upgrade our insulation air conditioner and furnace. Our thanks to everyone at CFU. Without exception, your employees were helpful, friendly, and efficient. We feel lucky to live in a city with a utility service the caliber of CFU.
Cedar Falls Utilities. Our family serving your family.
Welcome back to the studio here on Serving the Valley, a chance to learn more about a service organization here in Cedar Falls, the Rotary Club, that does so much for our Cedar Falls community. We spoke with 2 members of the organization, and now it's time to meet 2 new members, Brad Braley, my father actually, and Kelly Christensen. Brad, you're the current president. Kelly, you'll be the president next year of the Rotary Club. Kelly, how long have you been a member, and why did you decide, out of all the service organizations, why you wanted to be involved with Rotary here?
I've been with the Rotary Club of Cedar Falls for, I believe, about 7 years now, and my background coming from my hometown, the Rotary Club there was a strong club. I knew a lot of the people that were in that club, saw them in the community, how they served, and so those were probably the biggest factors. And in my family growing up, service was something that was encouraged, and so led me to the Cedar Falls Rotary. Outstanding.
And I know your story a little bit, and the fact that you moved to Cedar Falls. Why Rotary for you as well?
Yes, this month will be 15 years that I've been a member, and when I came here brand new to the community, I was looking for ways to get acquainted with people outside where I work, and Dick Lynch invited me to come to Rotary, and he knew I liked to sing, and I discovered there were quite the singers at that club. We have fun part of each meeting with some singing, and the motto of service above self resonated with my values, and it has been a great opportunity to meet people in the community, leaders that I wouldn't run into otherwise.
And I know that you had an opportunity to travel as well and go to the Rotary International Convention. Where did you go, and talk about that experience?
Last summer, the Rotary International Convention was in Lisbon, Portugal, and it was a great opportunity to go. Not just for the travel, but I was kind of blown away by meeting Rotarians from all around the world, and afterwards we took a little trip into Spain, and our bus had people from all over the world too, and just to hear about the projects they do in their individual clubs, and to see how the Rotary ideals unite us all across nations was really uplifting.
Well, Kelly, I know the Cedar Falls Rotary Club does a lot. I see them around the community, either wearing the shirts or sharing their stories. What are some projects that you think this club does well that you're proud to be a part of?
Well, you know, aside from the things that we contribute to internationally, here in the Cedar Valley, there are several things that we've been involved in over the years. Currently, the Cedar Falls Municipal Band Concerts, we're helping with selling popcorn at that event every week, so encourage people to come down there and see that. In the past, we've helped with Sturgis Falls events, and we're always looking for other opportunities to be involved in the community and help out and lend our support. One other area that I can think of is the Rotary Prairie Reserve out by Big Woods Lake, and if people haven't been out there to experience that or ride their bike or walk around there, encourage them to go out and check it out as well.
Very good. And I know there's a lot of other little projects that pop up from time to time, and the phone rings, hey Rotary, we need your help.
Yeah. And when I first came to town, I noticed riding our bike along, we'd see bridge projects on the bike trail sponsored by Rotary. Shortly after I came, Cedar Falls was doing the library, the new library, and Rotary was a major contributor to that. And the Northeast Iowa Food Bank's new building, we were major contributors to. So it's good to be part of a group that can play a role in benefiting the whole community along the way. The latest, we have the opportunity to apply for matching grants from our district, and our latest project we're working to develop is at the community gardens to have some that are handicapped accessible with raised beds that people can utilize and grow food and then have the joy of being involved in that. So we're excited about and always open to what's the next great opportunity that will come our way.
And that's a good point. If you have a project that you might need assistance on, you saw the information on your screen, stop by a meeting, log on to their Facebook page or website or give them a call, and maybe this Rotary Club, because there's a strong group there, can combine forces and help out your organization there. Again, the contact information is on screen. Again, we're talking with Kelly Christensen and Brad Braley, members of the Cedar Falls Rotary Club. And when we just give us an idea of what a typical month looks like. Do you meet weekly? Where do you meet? What happens at a meeting? I hear singing's involved, and I actually am a member of Rotary, and so I can attest to that. Talk about some of the fun that happens and how regular you actually get together.
We meet every Tuesday, starting with lunch. Between 11:45 and noon, people arrive, and then after that, we go into some opening things with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer and singing and announcements. And then one thing we call the wheel spinner, and we have fun identifying things that people have done that are noteworthy or not in the community, and we raise a little money for the foundation through that, but also have fun getting to know each other better.
Yeah, and I would say the next step in that meeting process that we go through weekly is the program portion, and I personally think we do a pretty good job of getting quality programs in, speakers coming in, people from around the community or from various places, even around the world sometimes, and typically a very interesting few minutes to learn something new each week.
Definitely. Well, in our last couple minutes of this segment, you have a couple more months left of being the president. What have you enjoyed about serving in that role, and what would you say to someone who's watching on TV that might think Rotary might be a good fit for me?
Well, I think if you're looking for service opportunities, if you're looking to connect with leaders in the community, if you're looking to just get a little break in your day at noon each week to get away from the grind or responsibilities of work and relax a little bit with other people in the community, it's a great opportunity to get involved and build your network of relationships and friendships with others.
Kelly, taking over as the president of the club, why are you excited for that opportunity and hopefully adding to the group of strong Rotarians that are currently serving?
Yeah, well, you hit on it right there. It's a great group of people. They do, in my 7 years or so with the club, just been impressed with the way they work together, come together. If there's something that comes up and we have an opportunity to be of service to someone else, overwhelming response to that, and it's exciting to be to come into a leadership position where you know you're not going to have to push too hard. It's going to be pretty simple to get people to act and get involved.
Well, I can say, speaking from experience, it is a great organization, and it's a lot of fun being able to meet with you and the many other Rotarians every week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the next Rotary Club. Okay. All right, we have one more segment coming at you on this week's show of Serving the Valley. There's actually 2 Rotary Clubs in town. We've talked about the one that meets on Tuesdays. Well, there's the New Generation Club. We'll be joined with 2 members from that club right after this short break. Stay tuned for more Serving the Valley.
Dear CFU, we had Rick out today to inspect our gas furnace and fireplace. He noticed the fireplace logs were installed wrong back when our condo was built and fixed them. Then he installed my new furnace filter, which usually takes me half an hour and a few choice words I learned in Cleveland. If all of your employees are like Rick, you have a great team. Thanks for the great service.
Cedar Falls Utilities, our family serving your family. Are you tired of wondering what you'll find when you open your cable bill each month? We don't think it should be a surprise. Switch to CFU Cable and Internet Service for the best value every day for every customer. CFU Cable brings you a huge HD lineup, and our all-fiber internet connection is always fast. You get reliable service and friendly local support. Call 268-5283 for free installation today from CFU, where every customer gets a great price.
Welcome back to Serving the Valley, a chance for you to learn more about outstanding service organizations that we have here in Cedar Falls. This week's program spotlights the Rotary Club, and there's 2 Rotary Clubs in Cedar Falls. We've heard from one of them, and now let's turn our attention to the new one, the Cedar Valley New Generation Club of Rotary, Whitney Jackley, and then Roger Keeter, who joined us in the first segment. Whitney, why are you involved with this club? And this club sounds like it offers a lot to a wide variety of people as well.
Yeah, one of the main reasons that I'm involved in this club is because it's a little bit more flexible for the younger people who have to be at work until 5. We actually start our meetings at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays at Voodoo.
Okay.
So it's a great way to, a lot of people have families that they've got to get home to, and they don't have the flexibility during lunch. They're traveling a lot. So it's just a great way for people who are kind of a little bit more involved with their real job to be able to join a service club.
Wonderful. And Roger, this is exciting for Rotary Club International to have not 1, but 2 strong organizations that can cater to different needs.
Absolutely. Rotary has that great desire, as we all know, to provide something for everyone. And as you heard Whitney say, that it focuses in on people who need flexibility, not necessarily only younger people, but need flexibility because of their family responsibilities, job responsibilities, and maybe even financial resources. Sure. Because the beauty of the Cedar Valley Club is that it does not have a meal associated with their meeting, so consequently the costs are considerably reduced. And Rotary's whole desire was to try to make that connection from its youth programs to its regular Rotary clubs, if there is such a word as regular Rotary clubs, and what has been called the New Generation Clubs, taking the name of where they are, as this one happens to be, has provided that wonderful link.
Wonderful. So, Whitney, what happens at a typical meeting? We meet at Voodoo Lounge, and
Sure.
What can someone expect?
Okay, so we meet the first 3 Wednesdays of the month at Voodoo at 5 p.m. We don't usually get started for a few minutes, kind of waiting for everyone to roll in from work. But we have a speaker from the community, and we've done a really good job of getting a plethora of people. We have authors, nonprofits, for-profits just around the area. And since we are Cedar Valley, we do like to try and have some of those people from Waverly and other surrounding places come in and talk to us about it. We, on the 4th and 5th Wednesdays, are a little bit different. We do fun networking socials, so we'll go kayaking, or we'll have a wine and paint, or just a lot of different activities where we can network with each other but still have that bond.
So if someone wants to get involved, show up and...
Yep, show up. We'll welcome you with open arms and hope that you will be able to join our club.
And Roger, just how did this, kind of come into play? Is this something that's common if you look at, an Iowa City or an Ames, or is Cedar Falls kind of on the cutting edge with this idea?
Well, Rotary has great flexibility, and you have to simply use your imagination and use it. Sometimes established clubs have satellite clubs, which would be the equivalent of having a club like Whitney described, sort of meet on its own, but be affiliated with the base club. However, Whitney and her group of people decided, no, they wanted to be an entity of themselves, and that Rotary really encourages that, and it's become quite common around the world, particularly because it has that great flexibility. Because Rotary has always been known for, its attendance, be sure you're there a week, and so forth, and less emphasis on attendance as there is on roles that Whitney described: service, lending a hand to the community, and so on. Those are all Rotary obligations. Those are all Rotary attendance.
Why are you excited? I mean, it's so new. There's so much potential with this group. Clearly, you're having fun doing a lot of great networking and socializing with them. But why do you think that this group, this organization, has huge potential for the future?
We're just so excited about serving our community, and this gives us the opportunity to. before this, I wanted to get involved, but I didn't know how. And I grew up volunteering all the time. I love volunteering, giving my time back to the community that I live in. And so this is just a great way for younger people to really get in, take charge, and create opportunities for us to give back.
So what would you say to someone who's thinking, I don't know if I have the time to be able to do that? Why should they at least come to at least one meeting?
Come check it out. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how much we have to offer, and you don't have to be there every single week. We're less attendance based than most of the traditional Rotary clubs are. So it's just a great way to get in, become a part of something, and even if it's just a little bit of your time that you're able to give, every little bit does help.
That's great, and I have seen pictures and heard stories, and you can tell you're definitely having a lot of fun getting together, meeting, and socializing as well. Well, we only have a couple minutes left, and Roger, I want to go back to you for our last minute and just, you've seen Rotary at so many different levels, and you've been involved with it for such a long time, and specifically here in Cedar Falls, why are you just so proud of what these Cedar Falls Rotarians are doing, regardless of the club that they're involved in?
Absolutely. Rotary's values focus on leadership and integrity and diversity and service. So fit that into your own personal makeup and try out the Cedar Valley Club that meets on Wednesday night. Try out the meeting that meets on Tuesday. There's something there for absolutely everyone to serve. And above all, I think all Rotarians should have fun. If they don't have fun in any of these particular clubs, why would you pay a dues to join an organization where you're not having fun and being excited about it? And I think you saw the excitement coming out of Whitney. And I think if you go to that club, you will see that kind of excitement. I think if you come to the Cedar Falls Club, you're going to see that kind of excitement of a different level, of a different kind. Find the one that matches your personality.
Well, it's going to be fun just keeping tabs on both of your clubs, and we'll definitely bring you back in the future and just see where we're at and continue to grow. But the information is out there. Just search on the internet and you can find information about both clubs. But this show, Serving the Valley, the main goal for this is to tell you about service organizations here in the Cedar Valley, and it's hard to find one that's doing much better work than what the Rotary Club of Cedar Falls is doing, globally, internationally, at the national level, and locally here in Cedar Falls. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing your part of making our community a better place for all, and we'll definitely keep in touch with both of you. All right, thank you for joining us. And again, for more information, definitely check out the 2 Rotary clubs here in Cedar Falls. Until next time, take care.